I dropped off guests at the airport today. Hosting, it is a topic amongst my friends on this Caribbean island. People pay thousands of dollars to come to Barbados. I would love for all my friends and family to come experience this where I live every day. What could go wrong? These are my tips for hosting on a Caribbean island to remove that conflict between those that are coming on vacation and those of us who are here living our best life. The first, time for transition. There's this commonly held belief that people hit the beach and they automatically relax. I don't think it works that way. People say, I'm so tired, I was in the sun all day. I think it's because their body is finally releasing tension and realizing how exhausted it is. And guests will go through this at the beginning of a visit. And it can be rough. It can be rough for them because they are unexpectedly tired. And it can be rough for the host as it butts up against that energy of the big city life up against the Caribbean lifestyle. So give it some time. The second one is space. In Canada, I had a big house and I had people stay with me, although they didn't stay more than a couple days, maybe a weekend. When people come to the Caribbean, they generally come for longer than a long weekend. I have a one-bedroom apartment. So I put my guests in a one bedroom just across the hall. And it was perfect because you can make plans, jump in the car at a moment's notice, but also have your space because you might be on different schedules, especially if someone's working. And I can still run around in my underwear. The third thing is expectations. It is difficult for someone to envision a place if they haven't been there, even if they're looking in guidebooks and watching videos and looking at pictures. So help your guests with some references like the weather, the distance between sites, and above all else, cost. But have your guests have an idea of what they want to do when they're here. Because as a host, there is a tendency that we feel very responsible for the good time, but it's a shared responsibility. And then set expectations around work and play. There's this perception that because we live on a Caribbean island, we're on vacation all the time. Now, I will admit, I do spend a lot of time surfing and going to yoga. However, I'm self-employed, and so during a day in a week, work has to happen at some time. So what are my guests going to do while I'm working? The fourth is weather. Between January and March, Barbados literally has as close to perfect weather as you can possibly get. So of course, this is when people are going to want to be here. And the tourist trade operates on supply and demand. So when demand is high, it's expensive. And Barbados is really expensive. So the shoulder season, like April and November, these are great times to come. However, it is hotter and it's way cheaper. So take your pick, supply or demand. So there you have it, tips for hosting in the Caribbean islands. Barbados is magic. Come visit me.